Working on it. We
Setting
got
everything up. So thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, and we're here at WJZZ
Hi.
Cool TV, streaming live on Facebook,
What a
YouTube,
messed up something.
Twitch,
Sorry, Roger.
Twitter. Follow us, like, share, subscribe, and if anybody's interested in maybe being our sponsors, we would appreciate sponsors. It's please email us at wjzzcooltvofficial@gmail.com. So here we are. My guest is Calibri the artist.
Hey.
Hey!
Surprise.
So it's like we're going to talk about Danahan Arts.
Yes.
And all the plans that we got planned.
Yes.
Did you bring our notes?
I did. Well, hello everybody. My name is Calibri the artist, co-host of the show.
And I'm Debbie LaPratt, the artist.
So Danahan Arts. We talked about it a little bit before, but we thought it would be appropriate for today to get more into what it is I do. So Danahan Arts, first and foremost, is a organization that uses art as a tool for emotional expression, basically, as an outlet. And alternative release therapies. Danahan Arts, ARTS, alternative release therapy.
I never even realized that.
Well, yeah, when I say that alternative release therapy, that's something that I kind of coined pre-pandemic, but post after I was already kind of doing it. I wanted to move it. I was always kind of doing it and painting and stuff like that, but when I wanted to get more focused about what I was doing for, I said, you know what, I want to use it as a form of alternative release.
That's cool.
So
when did you start Danahan Arts? Or when was the birth of Danahan Arts? When your kids were born?
Really, I was, that's about the time I started back painting. My daughter was a baby, and I had been working in a different career. I've kind of worn many hats. And at that time, I was working at Verizon, and I got back into painting because someone told me that I was drawing. And I was just pissed off, and I was doodling. Someone's like, I didn't know you could draw. I was like, I'm a whole artist. What? And I got back into that. And after I started exhibiting and kind of doing the professional thing for a while, I thought I would need to have a company name. And I'd had my daughter, and then by now I'd had my son. And I wanted something that sounded prestigious and something that I could do multiple things.
What the name is?
Well, my daughter's name is Danon, like the yogurt. And my son's name is Hannah, which means happiness. And I just wanted to have something rooted in them, and Danahan to me sounded well enough if I wanted to get into, I saw casinos and movies and film, and to me, Danahan just sounded like a name I could grow with. It sounded strong and bold.
It is strong. It's really cool, because I didn't know how, I knew the kids' names, but I didn't know that, that's really cool.
It's kind of taken its own extra meaning, legs. I mean, since I've been single mom. At the time I wasn't, but now I am. And when I am pushing and tired, it is like a reminder, of why I'm doing it and not to stop.
Yeah.
Babies are in it.
Yeah. So you started it by about the time the kids were born.
Yeah, it's been about 10 years now. It's been about, it's been about 11 years. So it's been, I'm sorry, I'm just not realizing it, how long it's been.
Yeah, you kind of go, whoa,
Yeah. It was originally just Danahan Art, Danahan Art Gallery, and then now it's Danahan Arts L3C, which is about 2 years old.
Explain what that is.
So an L3C is a low-profit company. It's a bridge between nonprofit and LLC.
Right.
The reason why I did it that way is because what wound up happening is I would use my art money from just creating art, and I would wind up, and we'll talk about this, doing events for children and just free workshops and stuff that I know people needed to use as a tool. So I would paint a masterpiece, whatever.
They're all masterpieces.
I would sell that and make money off my art, and then I would go and do these workshops. So I wanted to find a way to make that stick, have a company doing that, but I didn't want to have a nonprofit because at the end of the day, I do have investments that I want to do. I want to invest in the city. I have other stuff that I want to do. And if I'm creating an artwork or creating a movie or creating anything that I'm creating under a nonprofit, to me that didn't make sense to
Right.
only take 100,000 off of something that could be potentially $1 million.
That's right.
Something that
That's right. That's
I've
right.
made. So yeah, you know, I love Blue or Red Cross. I love them, but they're not giving their blood and then say,
That's
you know,
right. And they're sweating their tears.
exactly. Well,
know?
not, I mean, literally, if it's something that's coming from me, then I should still make my profits and decide what I want to do with them, even
That's
if it
exactly
means
it.
half of it going towards the community,
Yeah.
and not feel bad about half of it going towards something else that I may be passionate
Yeah.
about. So that's where L3C came in.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So, what is your history like? How did you get like into the arts? What
Well,
moved you?
what moved me to become an artist, I've been painting drawing, painting, whatever, ever since I can remember. I got my first easel when I was 4. And singing ever since I was little. My dad actually used to say when I was a baby I would be in the crib singing Aretha Franklin.
I love it.
I would dance to the Running Man. I was just always creative and into expression. It came in handy when we were younger, actually. We lived away from our family. We lived in California. And my dad was abusive to my mom. He would beat on her. You know, eventually both of them got into drugs. He got into drugs, got her into drugs. And because we were kind of in this neighborhood, it was weird. We were in like a little racist neighborhood anyway, and it was just certain stuff that you couldn't tell on, otherwise you wind up, you know, and save the children or in foster care or just whatever. So it was just kind of like in the black community, there's certain stuff you keep hush hush.
Yeah.
And there was still this stuff going on in the house, you know. There was one time my dad stabbed my mom, you know, and just this type of shit would be going on, and it was like, you know,
It's kind of like your escape.
it was an escape. It was an escape.
It was a place that
way
found that
to-
was like your happiness. That found your comfort.
Yeah, it was a way to deal with whatever was going on. I guess I could draw. I could kind of be in another world without having to deal with that, you know. And plus, therapy was different. You know, we would go to therapy like afterwards when my mom left him. We wound up going to therapy and everything like that. But I always felt like people were dumb. You know, so we might go to therapy and the therapist come like, oh, okay, all right. You know, as soon as I sit down and I'm sitting here like, lady, you know, I done dodged bullets. I done done, what the hell are you going to tell me? You know, so talking about it wasn't as effective as maybe painting about it or drawing about it or even singing about it or hearing a song that maybe related to whatever I was going through at
So
the
it
time.
really kind of released your emotions.
It did.
And it made
did.
you feel like this is my safe zone.
Yeah. It helped me to hone in on what I was feeling, because sometimes, especially as a kid, somebody
don't
might
know.
tell you what you or ask you, and I don't really know. I don't really know.
Then somebody's going to ask you, well, how are you feeling today? Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel kind of off.
Yeah. But they
You
wouldn't
know?
have, yeah. And as
Yeah.
a kid, you can't really describe that.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
this is a great expression.
Yeah. It's
And I think it's
an
an
expression that
for
we're not
anybody.
taught. Exactly.
You know, adults, children,
It
you know,
really
anybody.
is.
Yeah.
It really is. I started painting and just got good at it, drawing and painting, and as we moved and as I started going to school, you know, it just became a talent that I stuck with and then found I can make money with and be successful. You know, I would draw pictures and sell the copies for $5, you know, the
How old
originals
were
for
you then?
30. I was about 15.
Oh my God, you must have had your,
That was
cool.
my hustle.
I
I
was like,
had
man, that's a great hustle.
I would have the original. The original would be $30.
Yeah.
But the copies, I would go and just print them off the copier, black and white copies, and they would be $5. And everybody would have them in the locker, and they would be waiting on the next one. Like, when's
That
the
is
next
so
poster gonna come
cool.
out? So I always had money, and then I would always, because I was like the kid with money, I would always look out for people. Like, I had one locker for me, and then I had a locker that I stored with food for other people that just needed snacks during
That
the
is
day.
so neat. What a great thing.
Yeah, I'm weird.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'm weird, but I don't know. I just always had that formula. Like, money comes to me, I'm okay with money coming to me, so I always pass it along.
Yep.
You know, but also too, what I started noticing in adulthood, just going through life, going through different careers, going through well, number one, the childhood stuff, but the adult stuff, the marriage. I started noticing where things will be hard for me, but I would watch how other people would kind of deal with stuff, and it was just like they let stress take them in a way that I usually don't let it take me.
Right.
And I started noticing through the events. I started getting into paint parties. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. I got away from my 9 to 5, and I started doing art stuff. And as I started working with people and doing paint parties, which I liked, that's where I settled with, I started noticing what kept coming up is people would say how therapeutic this is. This is so therapeutic. People would cry, and it would be regular stuff. I mean, again, this is a party. Imagine somebody having a birthday party.
Yeah.
We're just painting, and I strategically have certain music playing, to go along, and we have a nice little vibe.
So were they able to paint what they wanted, or did you have a specific thing in mind?
Usually we would have a theme.
Okay.
So at the time, my website, I had different, just like Painting with a Twist, basically, which was, I liked being able to come to the people because, what people don't understand is Detroiters have a different energy than kind of anywhere else.
Right.
So even going to Painting with a Twist, people would have fun, but what I would come is connect with this group.
Yeah.
So we
you
would
get right down into the core.
Exactly. So I had kind of different, more funner selections than maybe Painting with a Twist would have, and even if I didn't have it, I could customize something for you. Like we would do, maybe if somebody passed away, we would do like a rest in peace party. We might do portraits of that person. And we're sitting and we jamming, and they'd have their drinks or whatever their passion is, and people might start crying or just they just liked how personal I was with them. Yeah, they felt safe and felt enough to release whatever was going on, even for the moment. So
that's really cool. So what year was that, Jim?
This was probably maybe like 2013 going through at least 2016, because there was a few years where I just really was busy.
Mm-hmm.
I would have parties, number one, every weekend, all weekend.
Now where'd you hold your parties at?
I came to you. So
that is like so cool.
Yeah.
I'm coming to you and we're going to paint and party.
I came right to them because I had a studio where I taught youth art. I did a couple paint parties there, but I wanted people to relax and kick back the way they wanted to.
Because you can
relax.
More relax into your own place.
Yeah, if you're home, you're home. It's your rules. It's how you do it. It's the jokes that you guys have, like the party. If you have your certain jokes amongst your friends, you might tell those jokes and be more comfortable than if you're in a group with other people.
Yeah.
So I wanted people to be comfortable, so I came to them, and I would be booked Thursday to Sunday, every single day, multiple parties a day, groups of, God, it got to where I would have hundreds sometimes.
That is so cool.
I'd leave one party with 70 people and then go straight to another party with 70
That is so fun.
And it was nice. It was nice, and I started really paying attention to what was happening, and yeah.
Didn't you do some commercial events?
I did. So my last event before I made this an L3C, because originally this was just kind of Calibri the artist was doing fun paint parties. Right. I'd taken a break from 2017. I did like a few, but I'd taken a break up until 2019, and I was stressed. I was having a hard time in my marriage, and I started just kind of pulling myself out of it. You're like, I need something else. I need something next. And an opportunity came. One of the people that I hosted with in the past, she reached out. She was a president of the, Lord forgive me, the DTE union, whichever that is.
Yeah.
Because I would do parties with unions and stuff like that. And she wanted to host something for their group of women. It was at least 200. I want to say about 250. And
That's
they wanted to do something specifically with me, again, the energy, and started to get into community events so that their union would be more part of the community.
That's really kind of neat. Kind of brings the whole corporation kind of together.
Yeah.
And everybody chills and just kind of relaxes.
And that's the thing that you see. if you measure the mentality or the morale after these type of events,
Probably
they really
was-
do work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gives people a chance to even know something about each other. They
That's
see
right.
you in a different setting. So we did a Rosie the Riveter. I actually messed this up, so sorry, DTE. But I didn't mess it up as far as the party. But I had my husband involved, and he was just like an asshole, just kind of just.
You just didn't get it.
And we did the event. It was nice, but from then on, I was like, you know what? I just want to. It was a scale that I hadn't been on, so it was like the next scale, and this was the first event that I wasn't personally instructing. Like I was there, but I had other people going and working the crowd because we had so many people.
Well, you would have to.
Yeah, and it was like I designed their picture, and I just kind of overseed it. I said, you know what? This is what I want to do.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So how did you survive the pandemic? Oh, we got to take a break already? Oh, come on. Okay, I'll let you shoot it.
Hi, everybody. You're tuning in to Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Deborah LaPratt and
my host. I mean, my co-host and my co-host and my
my
guest.
guest for the day, Danahan Arts, Calibri the artist. I'm talking about Danahan Arts. You're watching on WJZZ, the coolest station in the world, on YouTube, Twitch. Yeah, still Twitch,
Yeah.
Twitter, and Facebook.
And
So like, subscribe, comment, share. Call in if you have any questions. The number is 313-355-6018. And we'll see you.
and maybe you guys can set up a paint party too. You never know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, not really. I mean, yes,
No, not
but no.
yet. But we're not quite there yet.
Well, I only say this because I started getting away from the personal ones because in the midst of all this, number one, I did the painting, but also somewhere I started getting into massage and actual kind of physical therapy and energy work, just kind of mind, body, and soul release. So that all started tying together, and then I started getting back to the kids because I would have these parties, and this is another reason why I took the break because I started noticing, yeah, I'm busy, but I don't always want to do a birthday party. I don't want to deal with drunk people.
Right.
I don't always want to deal with whatever crowd. You might go there and the house is tore up or just what. I just got tired of my energy changing because at the end of the day, my energy has to set the tone of the room.
Yes.
Exactly. And if it's a group of people that are just grouchy or just that, and then it's like, man, let me get the hell out of here, And I started to, when I would have the children, I never had that problem. They were always grateful. They were always happy. And they were always the ones who really, really needed it. Not to say adults didn't, but children even just being inspired by what they were creating. Because with them, I could give them a blank canvas and let them go to town, and they're proud of it, and they're happy.
That's
and
cool. I didn't know you could just give them the canvas and they just paint.
Well, yeah, and with the grown-ups, you could do that too, but sometimes you'll get people, their expectations.
Yeah, they have that real high, like, I don't know how to paint, I don't know how to do this,
or the insecurities that they may have, the children sometimes have, but it's easier for them to overcome it.
Right,
you can say, oh, sweetie, paint was in you, and
paint from the gut.
Exactly,
Paint from the gut.
And it was more rewarding dealing with not just children, but people that people that it really helped, people that did find it therapeutic and were getting something out of it. So that's why with going to DTE, when they wanted to have me come on as an organization to help them outreach to the groups that I wanted to paint and liked painting, that's when I'm like, that's what I want to do. Because I've done painting parties for spina bifida. I've done, and I would act as a fundraiser. People, it's a way to make money, generate money.
That's a great idea.
So I would do all these fundraisers, spina bifida, stoma, I want to say Blue Cross.
Didn't you have
Red
a
Cross.
children's thing too? You had mentioned something about
Charlie's Journey for autistic children.
Yeah.
And these are events that I would do regularly. So when you came to these fundraisers, I was the paint lady, and they would look forward to me coming every year. Or however often. We did Catwalk for a Cause. That's what I was way for me to get into fashion, and I even modeled one of the but I liked doing these type of things because we're doing the same thing, but it's for people that appreciate it.
Yeah.
Versus somebody just, I want to do something different for my birthday, and I'm gonna cuss your ass out if I'm not a clown. Okay.
No, No, she's not.
No.
So, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So, didn't you say at one time you did face painting too? What did you said? We had talked about that.
Yeah. So, when I first started getting back into art, period, I was exhibiting art, and I paint, but I paint mine as more a release. I never saw myself as the artist is trying to be Leonardo da Vinci. You know, I don't care about collectors. I'm sorry, I don't. If you're fortunate enough to have a piece of my artwork in, but I'd rather regular people own that asset.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
How important it is to make that person happy.
Exactly.
Because that's what they say. Art should make you. You look at a piece and it should speak to you and make you happy. And smile.
Exactly. I don't make art with the intention of, you know, I want to be well known as the famous artiste or whatever. I'd like to use art as a tool to show other people that this is something you can do, and it's something that makes you feel good even looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, so I got bored with that. I was doing it, but I wasn't fulfilled. So
what year was that about?
This was 2000. Not 11, because I was pregnant. So 2012. It was after I had my son. That summer, possibly the winter, I'm sorry, but 2012, I started doing face painting. And just because, you know, you're an artist, you're always the one that draws everything. Anybody that needs something drawn or done, you're the one they come to. So I would always do it with the kids or do it in my family. And I started just doing them in different groups. I would do caricatures and face painting.
What did you like best?
I like both of them, honestly. I like both probably the same. Caricatures, I love caricatures. I think they're funny. I like being able to kind of roast people with them and make people look funny. I started doing that. Actually, that's what I did first. 2011, I was doing the caricatures.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing them with adults. And I got tired of it, you know, with anything with adults. You get tired of dealing with drunk people and critiques and, you know, ladies that want to be fine.
I look.
Yeah, it's a caricature. And can you make my eyelashes longer? Or can you get the fuck out of my seat?
Yeah, that's right.
No.
Get out of here. Yeah.
You know, I'm not a clown.
Yeah, you know.
I keep saying that. But, and then I would do kids parties, and they're like, wow. I did some at the park last week. Just
that's right. We were talking about that.
Got suckered in because kids will sucker you. Can you draw me? Yeah, they're like, oh my God, you know, and they're hype and proud and just excited. You know, it's like magic to them.
Yeah.
And from there, of course, face painting. Because I don't do just like the hearts and the stars. I do like.
I could see you doing some really.
Oh,
awesome
I love
stuff.
every single Halloween. I do, and grown-ups come. Even still, annually, grown-ups will be like, "Look, I'm going to a party. I need my face painted," and I'll do like jokers and like, you know, all of the tricks and everything, like the Hollywood FX type makeup. And the kids, again, to show
the kids
it.
Gotta love that.
They love it.
Oh.
They love it, and they party, and then we paint. Like it's always just excitement. I love working with kids. I do. There's something about kids. I just love it.
That's so cool. Yeah.
But that was 2012. And I know you would think I would be here sooner, but I guess I had to go through more to figure out how I wanted to implement it.
That was so cool. So I can't remember what else we were talking about. We had so much. We sat there and talked before. We just kind of chatted about the whole thing.
Well, I started again. Oh, so right around that time too was about the time 2014. I was still doing the paint parties, but I started doing massage. I don't know. I've always done it. I would do it like my husband and everything like that, and I'm somebody that's driven and I like knowing a lot of stuff. Yeah. So I figured if I'm going to be doing this, even just for him, I better know what I'm doing so I don't mess anything up. And I went to Irene's myomassology, and I became a licensed myomassologist.
So you've explained what that is. That's like you want to do? Come on, you can do a little bit of massage.
Basically, a specialist in soft tissue. So I'm trained in massage, but I'm trained in kind of anything to go along with soft tissue. So even down to prescriptions, I can't give you, you know, meds, but if it's herbs or teas, or if even saying, you know, you need to sleep and your body needs this, I had to learn physiology. I had to learn
That's really cool.
kind of everything. I had to learn everything, and plus of course me, the extra mile. I took all of these extra courses, so I do craniosacral therapy, and
Same with that is.
that is working with your cranium and your
Okay.
sacrum, so your head and your tailbone and everything in between.
So it's all interactive.
So where massage, you might be dealing with, like let's say your traps hurt or something like that. I can release those muscles, but maybe if you have surgery or you have something maybe where I can't do that, or something that's specifically affecting those areas, I can really get down into the discs and even soft tissues and do light pressure and release what's going on along there.
That's also a form of art.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what I looked at it. It's
Yeah.
just the art of release.
Yeah.
So,
That all fits in with Danahan Arts.
Well, that's where, because I kept looking at, this doesn't make sense, because I would have a lot of success doing massage. I would have a lot of success doing art. I was getting the same reactions from both though. And I wanted to teach both. I started teaching. I had a little spa. Me and a partner, she brought me in, and we started having couples nights. We would have nights where they would come in and they would paint anyway, or we would do showing people how to massage and release their partners. Just
Did they paint too?
touch. So, well, not with showing how to massage, but just release, or I don't know, same formula. Have the music involved, have this and that, showing what's going on, how to feel, how to be more in tune. I think that's what the arts give you, is just how to be more focused and in tune.
And just
Period.
Yeah.
So when they get that, it's like, this same kind of
Release.
zen that comes over them. And I wanted to find a way to incorporate all of these little things that I've picked up along the way and show people how to relax.
That's right.
How to just relax. Because people get so worked up and they're like, oh my God, and killing people and fighting and drinking and smoking and
just beating on each other.
Yeah. And this is another way to relax, an alternative.
And it's another form of art.
Yeah.
It's another form of art. That is so cool. Yeah. So we're going to take an early break.
Okay.
Because it's 2:27, then we can get into our whole conversation.
Yeah.
We're at WJZZ Cool TV, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe. So, and this is Calibri, the artist, who is my guest tonight, and I am Debbie LaPratt. I am the interviewer, and we got some of her amazing art here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about maybe
the angel.
The angel, the one
okay,
I love.
that's appropriate. So the angel is like our trademark. That is our logo. That is. It kind of started with her. I had
What
a
is
dream.
your inspiration? You're gonna tell us.
I had a dream. I had a dream sometime during my break from the paint parties, and I needed to paint. There was something in me. I didn't want to really do the paint parties, and I needed to paint.
You needed to create.
And I couldn't. I was having such a hard time. Well, I didn't have the space. Again, the energy. As an artist, the energy matters.
Oh, God,
and
it does.
I didn't really know what to paint. I was painting like erotic art and different stuff, and I had this dream about an angel, and whatever it was, she represented me. And clearly she does not look like me, but in the dream she represented me. And she was like in a world where she was kind of her color was faded, and that's why the wings are all colorful, because you can still see that she's colorful, that she's bright and she's vibrant, but still graceful and basically making it through. And so when I got up, I sketched it immediately, and then I went and got a big old canvas.
You got a big canvas.
And I painted it. I painted it in like 3 days.
You painted that in 3 days?
I did.
Now this is an acrylic, right?
This is acrylic. This is acrylic.
And the size of this canvas
is 48 by 48, so 4 feet by 4 feet.
It's an amazing piece, and it is hanging in her home, and it just looks absolutely.
It is.
It's one of my favorite pieces. It makes the statement.
I always say it's God, because that was kind of the moment that I really started shifting and really turning to God, and really got an idea to do more with my art, using my art for people and not just myself or money or just whatever. So that's her. That's that piece. She's colorful.
Amazing.
She has a
No, she's
crown.
not for sale.
She's not for sale, but there is merch on the way for her.
Yes.
Again, because she represents Danahan Arts, so she's always going to be for sale. And that's another thing. You mentioned prints. I love the idea of prints for this piece, and I think that's too why I kind of shy away from the collectors. Because a lot of collectors aren't okay with prints.
Right.
And I feel like if it's art, it should be for everybody. It shouldn't be just making one person happy. If one person enjoys this picture, or a few people enjoy this picture, and it makes them feel anything positive, they should be able to have it. Whether they want to make money off of it or see additional value in it or not, they should be able to have it if they think it's beautiful. So this is going to be available to everybody that likes it enough to have it.
That is going to be so cool. We're talking about even maybe possibly putting on clothing or something.
Yeah, clothing, t-shirts, shoes, jackets.
It'd be so cool.
Earrings. Honestly, I would like for this to be like a nice big old scarf.
That
I'm
would
looking
be
at
very
scarves
cool.
now.
Yeah.
It's actually, I had this, someone has a shower curtain of this. I'd started doing merch when I first did it, and I didn't have the mind that I have now, but someone has a shower curtain, and it looks beautiful.
Somebody's got a shower curtain?
A shower curtain, a big old shower curtain. And when do you see a bright red, colorful shower curtain?
You don't. That is so cool.
And I wanted to do reds and blacks because the brand, I just wanted it to be
powerful,
bold, powerful. We always see these images where things are so dainty and blue and kind of washed out, and I just wanted it to be powerful and bold.
To me, it says
gold.
Statement.
Yeah.
It is a statement piece.
Yeah.
It's a piece that everybody would just like, wow. Now, let's talk about our
the king.
The king has arrived.
As you can see, is still actually a work in progress, but I wanted to bring him for that reason. Number one, when I paint, I use little brushes, so I don't use like big, how people like blend.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like, I like actually blending little. The Angel, I kind of did a little bit more, but the better I get, the more I get in. I'll be eyeball to eyeball and like,
That's cool.
Painting. So he still has spots that he's working, adding jewels and adding crests. He's going to get more and more regal as time goes.
Now, why is his one eye different than the other? Or is it just
because I had it looking one way, and then I was playing with how I wanted.
So I was wondering if somebody punched him in the eye.
Well, I don't use references when I paint.
Okay.
So a lot of artists, a reference is a picture. It's a picture of another person.
So you just do it from the gut.
I do it from the gut. So with him, and actually in high school, I used to experiment with guys, like you like we trying to create the finest man, so I would make different eyes, make different noses, make different lips.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was doing with this. So he had different eyes, and I'm like, maybe we should try these type of eyes. Maybe we should try these. He's had like 5 different types.
What
of
is
eyes.
the hardest in a face to paint? Would you say to capture the face?
Probably the nose.
The nose? I think the eyes. That's because the eyes.
I think maybe because I paint them so much.
Okay, so that's.
I'm actually really good with eyes and lips because I like lips.
Yeah.
The nose, because it really does make a difference in the personality of a person. The eyes too, but you can have very stoic eyes and maybe a silly kind of nose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it makes a difference how you the type and how you paint it. So that's something to me, I guess, where it's a bit difficult. Also, the shadows for how far, how wide.
Right.
There's so many things that go on with a nose.
See, I can't paint. I cannot paint for nothing. I'm gonna be just like, okay, But I could, do everything in dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I could make him probably in dimension.
I'd like to, and he's going to actually. With the reliefs, the jewels, I'm going to add more. That's why I'm doing the base, cool. But I do want for the jewels and everything to pop out. There's a lot more that have to be added. Even animals are going to be added in the foreground.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And what size is this guy?
He is 5 feet by.
Did we say 4 feet, possibly?
About 4 feet. Is he wider than? He's wider than the angel. Is he wider than the angel?
No, I think it's about the same. Yeah.
Okay. Well, 5 feet by 4 feet.
Yeah. So
and,
how long have you been working on him?
About a year.
That's cool.
About a year, but not consistently.
Right.
I'm not. I haven't been consistent, but I've been. The reason for him was I wanted to use, again, still as my artwork, not necessarily just as the workshops, but with my artwork, I wanted to start to create pieces that are positive and have a message in them.
Yeah.
So with the king, just like the angel, a lot of times if you go to the DIA, for instance, you're not going to see. Well, you're going to see the black art that they put out, but with kings and queens and stuff like that, they're usually white. Or just it's rare to see black people as royal. Either we're slaves
and
or
I've never seen a black angel
struggling,
either.
or it's nothing. You don't usually see that or anything depicted as graceful or anything like that. And there have been kings. There are kings throughout history.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted especially the youth, people period, but especially the youth to be able to see something and look up to it.
That's where.
While I was painting it, actually, my son, a couple figures, he'll kind of pose in front of them. Like I have a capper.
Oh, I
he'll
love it.
Pose in front of him, and this is one of the ones he actually went and got a throw. He like threw it around him, and he came and stood up next to the king. And I just thought that was wonderful because it means it's doing what I need to do.
Right.
That's what I want. I want kids to look at this and say, "Oh, a king! I can be like that.
I can be the king. I can be the
carry yourself like that."
And get the feeling across to the kids that they're
they're equal.
Kind of wet.
And he has everything to go along with it. All the golds are metallics. It's bright, again, bolds, the blacks, the reds, the purples, kind of everything. Nothing's blended.
I love it. So let's put our phone number out there. Maybe somebody's got questions.
Yes.
Anybody got a question? Call. You got the number.
Arts, it's 313-355-6018 on the screen. 313-355-6018.
So if you got any questions for Calibri, please call in to the studio. We would love for questions and everything. So how about this painting back here? This is like not your style.
This is actually though. This
is it?
So I would say if there is a piece that's more from the belly, it would be this one, because these are more from the head, and like I said, that came from a dream. But this one is a release. So I brought this one because this is alternative release in person. So, and kind of embarrassing, but this is one that's not thought out. I don't necessarily have a composition for this, and even the colors, it's all based on feeling. And I tell people it's not about what you think, or it's not about making it look aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
Obviously, this doesn't look like the angel. It has the same colors, bold and everything. But
I like the colors. I think
it's
the colors are very.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Thank you. A lot of people
I
say
love the
that
color.
I don't like the colors.
Oh, I
but
love
these
the
are
colors.
The colors that needed to come out.
No, the colors are and it looks like I see the swirls and the.
And I did, but even the base, I did like texture, like I wanted it to be feathered, and I don't know, it made me real emotional even painting it. And then later on, I'm just like swirling on it. But so I was dating somebody, I guess loosely, I don't know what you would call it, but whatever. And just even coming off of, my divorce, basically, just coming after all of that, like my feelings were kind of all over the place, intimately.
Yeah.
And I hadn't painted. Once upon a time, I would paint like erotic pieces.
Do we got a caller?
Nope, that's us.
All right. I thought, oh my God, we got a caller. Yeah.
But I would paint these erotic pieces sometimes, and I didn't want to paint a necessarily erotic piece, and I wasn't necessarily feeling erotic, whatever it was. And I found this through painting. This is why I say, an alternative release. Because while I was painting it, I really felt like what it is I need to be held. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of having a tantrum because I feel like being held. And I haven't been held in so long, and I can't cry to nobody. I don't have nobody to smell at night or what.
Yeah, or somebody just to lay there and cuddle.
This was painting that. So it was, it's two figures, and when I do these types of pieces, I like kind of doing innuendo because it's easy for people to feel like it's more than what it is, even though I look at it as an embrace. Somebody else may look at it as just sex, or just it's based on their interpretations, obviously. So I like to make them kind of vague so that way you can have it in your living room or something like that. You don't have to look at kids like, oh, what is that? Or,
yeah.
Or, but it is two figures. The yellow figure, so I felt like he's yellow.
Oh, right.
The yellow figure is the man, and he's just kind of holding, and then the blue one is the woman, and she's just kind of, they're holding each other.
I like that. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
They're wrapped around each other. They're just kind of wrapped around each other.
How long did it take? This guy.
This is quick.
Was that quick?
This was quick. I did the background and it dried in like a day, you know, and then I went over the next one and I did it took maybe like 2 days. It was pretty quick.
Cool.
You know.
Hey, you guys want questions? Call in. We would love to have
Put
questions.
my name in there, you know, just
Where's
a
your
bunch
name?
of stuff. My name
Can
is
I
the
see?
opposite direction, so it's actually this way.
Oh, that's
And I
so
did that because
I like
we
that.
always talk stuff about our signatures. So it's in there. If you flipped it the other way,
You could see your name.
COLIBR, and then I, and then the dot comes here. So it's one way is my name, and then the other way are the people.
I like that. I think that's very cool.
But I also wanted to do like the borders around it to represent like parallel lines. Like these are people that are parallel. Because this particular person, I always felt that we're parallel and we never really cross or stay crossed.
Right.
Eh.
That's cool.
But this is our way to put your stuff out there.
That's right. Put
Your
it out there.
emotions
That's
out.
right. From the gut. We always say from the gut, from
Yeah.
the feelings.
Yeah,
So
that's Mr. Grant.
that's
So,
right.
yeah.
Yes, sir. So, where do we see Danahan Arts going?
So, right now I've actually started to expand.
Yeah.
And getting more into the workshop. So my focus for this, I guess the next 6 months is the children's workshops this next year. Summer camp, summer programs. I have someone signed on as program manager, so you don't have to see me doing it all the time. And summer programs are workshops for the children. The children have come through a long pandemic, so
And they need to be.
Yeah, they need artwork. They need parties. They need they
don't
need
need
to
screen
engage with
time.
each other.
They need
Well,
interaction.
ironically enough, these are via screen time.
Okay.
But it's a way still for them to interact in a different way. Because right now the screen time that they're getting is on the tablet. They're watching cartoons all the time. They're watching Roblox. They're watching stuff that doesn't engage them.
Yeah,
stimulate
right. And this
them
is going to actually help them do
positively.
stuff, right?
Well, this helps them so we're not raising little
Robots.
Yeah. This helps them access to a real world,
Right.
even if they can't be in the real world. And then going into that next year, I'd like to test out, just in person and kind of grouping them together. Also with the massage, I just got a little vehicle. I got
Yes,
a
you
trailer
did.
to be able to pull up on people and do these type of workshops for the small groups. And
And you're also planning on, weren't you going to do workshops in there? Like pull up
yes,
and have
workshops. Yes, so
I
we
could
do
just
the
see you
wine
pulling up to a
tasting.
park.
I have a club called No Boys Allowed,
Yeah.
which it's owned by Danahan Arts, but it's separate from. It's a way to be able to do the massage stuff and stuff that isn't necessarily related to art, but is related to alternative releases.
Right.
And devoted to women, because our health and our mental health is not a priority a lot of the time.
No, we always put ourselves in the back burner.
Yeah.
And then put everybody else front.
Exactly.
And and I think the art, is a great release too for adults.
It is.
Like
it
we were
is.
talking, like if maybe you don't like a therapist, maybe you don't want to go talk to somebody, but maybe you can release your emotions on the paper.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
so,
Because everybody that's not their way. And it's not just painting. It's painting, it's dancing. I have dancing. That's what I did all during the pandemic, is I worked on specific techniques and kind of documented what they do. So I even have it's stuff where it's fun, where you have these releases, but you don't feel awkward about sitting into somebody and actually trying to find what emotion is. You might not want to talk about being raped.
Yeah.
You might not want to talk about, or even if it's not that traumatic, you might just be stressed at work and you don't necessarily know that that's what's
bothering you.
all
So
of
this way you can either dance it
yeah,
out, or
we can
massage
dance it out.
or
We can have these. So we write. We always have a little journaling session. Danahan Arts. We were amongst women, and a lot of times we get like the game and being able to talk. I was talking to shout out to Rosemary Summers just this morning about men. Her anniversary's coming up, married for 40 years. And of course she had some knowledge. You give a lot of knowledge, about that. And under the normal setting, we may not talk about that, but in a No Boys Allowed setting, we could talk. I could say, hey, this isn't working. I'm running into this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And you can give me real experience as opposed to TV experience.
yeah, because TV is
content.
so fantasy.
Exactly.
It's not real.
Exactly.
TV is not a real. It's not real life.
Exactly. And being able to cry, being able to say, you know, friends will sit up and talk. You might need to cry. Might need to say, Debbie, this happened and I feel stupid.
Right. That's
know,
right.
and you can say, look, girl, you know, this is this, that. You know, it's a setting where we can just be us.
Right.
You know, we can joke, we can be silly, like you do your prank calls and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Debbie does prank calls, in case you guys don't know. But being able to be just women and have these outlets to be us, and that's really all Danahan Arts is. Period. Is
right.
Outlet.
It is.
All
It's
about outlets.
We're going to take a 2-second break. We're going to talk about. We are at WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, and you got two of the coolest guests here, the coolest host and co-host and guest and everything. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and follow us, like, share, and comment. And just more you guys can do. Support the arts, support Danahan Arts, support. And call in. Call in.
313-355-6018.
All right.
Yeah. So we're moving into the programs, getting those back going and grinding. I'm also looking for sponsors. During the pandemic, I reached out to a ton of people. I reached out to Michael's. I reached out to Family Dollar. I reached out to Fago. I reached out to Better Made. I reached out to Little Caesars. I reached out to kind of everybody that makes money in the city, so that and I wasn't looking to get paid, you know, but so that if nothing else, to be able to fund supplies for these kids and people that were looking to do something else to relieve their stress. And sometimes it is hard, you know. Again, if I'm using 50% of my profits, it's my profits, you know what I mean? And I'm only one person, and that may not be enough.
Right.
You know, if it's just little old Calibri, what if I don't have an income? Then 50% of nothing is nothing.
That's right. That's what I always say. 50% of nothing or zero.
That's what I've been running into. So we're still an L3C to be able to accept donations and things like that through foundations and other organizations that they're able to give supplies. All of it's needed. And a lot of people either didn't reach out or were concerned because of the pandemic and they weren't making money, so they weren't. And I had a hard time getting that. So this year, this summer, my focus is really getting on their heads and getting those dollars, getting those supplies, so that I don't have to. It shouldn't be I can raise a fundraiser and get money from the people to come purchase art supplies from you to be able to give out. And when people already made money off of them,
right,
you can afford to, like Little Caesars. And I'm sorry to say this, Little Caesars, but you know, we wanted to do a pajama jam, and I was looking at them to donate pizzas.
Wouldn't that be neat?
Well, just something virtual for the kids. They're home. Everything is virtual. You watch me, but while you're watching me and you have your cousins or whatever,
and you guys are all jamming down in your pajamas.
Have your pajama jam. Have some pizza. Have some pop.
That's right.
And they told me it was too much. You know, and I wanted to do like 100 families, and you know, hot and ready's are 500.
Would that be a wonderful gift? So if anybody's out there and wants to be donate or anything, give any funding towards
Danahan Arts, you can email Danahan Arts, DANAHANARTS@gmail.com. Danahan Arts on Facebook, or even just get down and dirty talking art and say that you want to do that, and I'll reach out to you.
Right.
But we need supplies. We need things for the children. I need help, basically. I'm one person.
Yeah.
So getting into that. Also for the art part of it, exhibiting. So gonna be exhibiting next year at Charles H. Wright.
That's right. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's really big.
So right now I'm finishing up, and this is why you're seeing the work in progress, because I would like for people to get excited about how regal this collection is going to be. I'm building a collection specifically for Charles H. Wright, specifically for the
now,
people
is it going
of
to
Detroit.
be stay in there, or is it going to be a permanent collection?
Well,
or
that's
is it
something
just
we're working out the details.
Okay.
It's not going to be a permanent collection, although I really would love for it to be some sort of installation. I would like for people to be able to see it regularly and be able to come see King. You know, come see, oh, that's Kang, because that's when they come in the house. Oh, that's Kang.
Yeah.
I want people to always, I want for these artworks to be able to be seen wherever. Even if it's not a permanent installation, that's another thing that I work on. Right now I have a project called the People's Murals. I was pushing it heavy pre-pandemic, and the pandemic hit and a lot of stuff got shifted, so now I'm back
now, what is the
on it
People's
again.
Murals?
The People's Murals are a way to get a group of people together in like a
We had
paint party
talked about
setting.
that. That would be so fun.
And instead of painting one individual picture, you're painting one piece of, let's say, this picture.
Right.
So if you were to divide this up in, let's say, 50 little chunks,
and everybody paints a
let's
little
say
bit of it.
Debbie gets his nose.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The thing I probably couldn't paint. Yeah.
You know, and the idea is you all paint it together as a community, as a group.
I think that
whatever,
would be so,
and
because
then it
that's what I
goes
said,
up.
bringing community to art.
Exactly.
Art to the Detroit in the community.
Exactly.
I always talked about DeQuindercut, and even here at Ralston, doing a whole great mural on the back.
And
stuff.
people want to be part of the beautification of their communities, whether or not we believe it, they really do, and they take care of things that they've done.
Wouldn't it be neat to bring, let's say you're a young parent, and then all of a sudden you're going, your grandma. I can look at, this is what I painted.
Exactly.
This is what I painted.
Exactly.
And
we I did a mock-up with panels of Stevie Wonder, but I joke about that because I'm very silly. So even during the paint parties, I mess with people. That's what they like. If
that.
you fuck
That's
up, I'm
cool.
gonna mess with you. And you now imagine you have to drive by this every single day, and somebody has to say, "Look, you fucked up Stevie Wonder's nose." You remember when Joe messed up his nose?
Yeah.
But it makes it that much more organic because I can paint it, and any artist can paint it, but it's just so much beautiful when you see all the flaws of the people.
They did that at my son's school. They in the lunchroom. They did a whole mural.
And they love it.
And they love it. And I go in there and I go, my son painted it. That's what my son painted.
And they love it.
And it's like, it's something that can always be around, and they love it. And, and the kids come in, and it's just, I think that is a tremendous.
Well, that's my focus. That's what I'd like to do for the community. That's my part. That's what I'm, the government, you got city, you got
anybody.
Anybody,
come on.
Million, you want some to go to community signs.
That's right.
Let the community do the signs, and let Danahan Art host those
That's right.
workshops.
As I said, I want to do DeQuindercut.
Yeah.
I would love to see a community art work in there.
It's so many places, and what I like about that is they get to kind of pick their own legends. Because even like downtown, we have these murals, and we have, but what's missing? It's rare we even see the Motown legends.
That's right.
And with them being such a big part, why isn't there a Smokey Robinson mural?
Yeah.
Why isn't there? Well, there's Aretha Franklin murals, but there's not Martha Reeves. There's not
the Four Tops.
There's not the Temptations.
Yeah.
Or even just the people, Kool-Aid, comedian Kool-Aid, rest in peace. But he was somebody that used to do for a very long time free comedy shows for the people. During the recession when people did not have money, but they needed to laugh. We forget how important these releases are.
Can you imagine getting a whole community of people together? And
these are people that love them, and I'm sure would love to do that. But if they go and spray paint them up on the wall, it's graffiti.
Right.
But if I'm hired to get them to do it, then it's art. So let it be art.
It is. Like the girl who did the painting down in where the roller skating rink is in the basketball. Who is the artist that did that?
That is Tashif Turner and Philip Simpson, who again were artists that were pre-pandemic, just during the whole recession and all of that, putting happiness in the city, making sure they put colors and bright happiness in the city. So that's what I want to get into. So there's the People's Murals. You have the Pajama Jams. We've got in-school field trips. Part of the in-school field trips, and what I love about the in-school field trips and the programs that we have is they're not art. They're not. Some of them are art, but it's really just creative. It really is just alternative release therapies. So one of our programs is a food fight.
Oh God, I love it. I'm right there.
And I mean, everything is set up and controlled, but sometimes kids just need to have a food fight.
I think that would be. I think we need to have an adult food fight.
I hadn't thought about that.
That would be so much fun. I think that would be like, yeah, all right, man, you pissed me off. Whip.
Oh Lord! I mean, we got like the marshmallow guns, and
oh my God,
and also they need to have something to look forward to. So they even have. People don't understand it addresses behavioral issues. If you have something to take away from them, then you have a reason for them to even behave more. Right now, there aren't any releases. There aren't any camps. There aren't any. The YMCA is downtown. Yeah. There's nothing for
what about the kids out in the
children.
inner city? Yeah.
Exactly. If you're on Finkel, what do you have?
Nothing.
The adults take over the basketball courts. The adults have dispensaries. They have strip clubs. They have clubs. There are 1,000 bars.
Nothing for the kids.
They took the puppet theater and turned it to a bar. There's nothing for the kids. So I really wanted to start with the kids because there's nothing for them right now. They're coming off a pandemic and they need to have some fun.
That's right. That's right. I think we're...
Well, yeah,
we got
real quick.
I got a little green light.
Email me. I think it's closed, but yeah, if they're still tuning in, Danahan Arts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get down and dirty, talking art, WJZZ, Cool TV.
For the
Calibri the
lives.
artist, and LaPratt. And follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Follow, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please, support the arts. That's what it's
Yes,
about.
support
And
the arts.
why art?
And keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. That's my positive note. Keep pushing no matter what's going on, no matter how hard it is. God has you. Just have
That's
faith.
right.
Keep pushing. Stay positive and keep pushing. That's it.
That's it.
All right.
All right. I don't even know if this guy even works. I don't even know. But I know this one
Well.
did.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to show you all the art. All right.
I guess I can go live too.
So you can see the angel. You can see the angel.
And the
She
green
is.
box is still up.
And there is.
Hi.
And there is our king. And this is Miss Calibri. Smile.
Hi. I'm gonna put this over here.
All right. We're doing Facebook Live.
Ooh,
That's
sorry.
okay. So, yeah. Oh, look, she's got a dual sign.
Oh, good.